My name is Keith Froese. I have a wife, Rachel, and we have 4 children, Angelise, Justice, Rain, and Connolly. And I have received training in the past at what was once called Edmonton Baptist Seminary. I spent some time in ministry at the Mustard Seed Street Church during that time, and then when I graduated, I was pastoring Kingman Baptist Church out in the town of Kingman. And then for about 10 years, I went into the welding trade. And while I was doing that, I was speaking in churches on Sunday mornings as they needed speakers. And I was into my 10th year of the welding. And at that time, God was really speaking to our family. We weren't exactly sure where we were going to be called to, but had a real sense that God was calling us into church ministry full-time. And at that same time, Calmar Community Baptist Church was looking for a pastor, and they called us in April of 2012 to a small group that met in a home for some time. But about 3 years ago, we're able to get rental of a church building in the town of Calmar, which we still use now today. And we are renting that building on a monthly basis, paying rent each month, and we are using that building every Sunday, and I have my office in there. We can use that building for other activities. We have a lunch program for the high school students that we run in the basement of the church, and average probably about 35 youth every other day there. And we are right now in the process of determining where that direction will go for us. That building that we're in now, the owner has found a buyer for that building, and so we will be looking at somewhere else in town for us to meet. But we are actually right now almost at capacity for that building anyway, so this is certainly God's timing to move us into something else. We have support from many different ABA churches. There's 6 churches that provide regular financial support for us. It's in their budget, and another 6 that have given us gifts of money throughout the few years that I've been there. And then there's at least another 10 churches that have given us donations of various things that we've needed as we've started. So we've really been an ABA church plant since I've been there, and we've been supported by at least 1/3 of the 65 or so ABA churches in Alberta. So really grateful for that support. And we right now are running a budget that we are ourselves meeting about 60% of our own tithing, and so the other 40% of that budget we meet by gifts and donations from other churches in the ABA. 2 years ago, I met a fellow, his name is Anthony, and he had attempted suicide in the high school in Calmar's where he attended, and he had attempted suicide, and the school called me and said he wouldn't talk to anybody but me. And in talking with him, I was given the opportunity to share a little bit with him and pray with him. And then for about a year, I prayed for him, and he started attending the church. And one Sunday after the service, he said, Keith, I need Jesus Christ in my life. And I was able to pray with him. He received Christ and was baptized and shared the gospel with his family, his entire family, mother, father, and at that time nieces that were living with him, and his one brother. All of them have been baptized and are following Jesus. And so from one boy whose life was changed, now his entire family's been changed. Dealing with something in town, there's a number of youth, young girls in the high school involved in occultic type practices, and we've been able to meet. I've been able to meet with several of the families already, and actually just recently met with a mom and her daughter who is involved, and we're going to be this week actually getting together, and she's going to be taking whatever items are in her house, she's going to be burning them. We're going to renounce that, and she's repented of that, and she's received Christ, and her mom will be baptized at the end of this month.
Oh, right on.
So we're really excited. That will be our 26th baptism that we'll have had since we've been there in Calmar. So just confirming that God is doing great things in that town, and we Also run, I didn't mention this, we run it's called the Open Access Youth Club. It's a youth building on Main Street where we have regularly 20 to 25 youth that come. And again, it's a first connection, and through that, several of them have started now attending the church as well. And so we're beginning to see how God is using our little church in that town to reach out, and in particular to the youth in that town. The acting chaplain for the mayor of the town, and also a chaplain for the fire department in town, and the Calmar Legion had asked me to be their padre, which is also much like a chaplain position. And so I've had many opportunities, doors open for me to be involved in the community, and about 2 months ago was invited by the principal and vice principal of the elementary school, and they invited me to join them in running a boys program at the school, particularly for the troubled boys, many of them who don't have fathers at home. And so we're excited about that. We'll be starting in April of this year, in the spring. And so I'm really excited about that, and the opportunity, again, just to be a Christian witness in the community. So again, many opportunities for us to be involved in interacting with the community, and in many ways being able to share the gospel of Jesus Christ.